Are you aware that Samuel knew? Samuel knew a bit of what was happening around. So you see, hold on. When he met Ezekiel, he said, "Son of man, can these bones live?" If you see a vision and there are dry bones in that vision, and the Lord asks you with your Pentecostal sense, your charismatic gymnastic, this your vavavoish spiritual life, very unsilent attitude to the move of God, and God shows you, can these bones live again? Many of you say, "Yes, Lord. Yes, it can. You can do it." No. Ezekiel had gotten intimacy with God. He said, "Lord, thou," because even if they can rise again, I don't know if it is your will for them to rise again. I know they can rise again, but I don't know if your current plan is for them to rise again. So Lord, thou knowest. Not like I don't know, but I don't know like you know. And it takes intimacy to be built to that level. It takes intimacy. I was telling some pastor, I said, it's not everybody sick that you are called to heal. The man that was by the gates of Beautiful, Jesus passed him. Jesus saw him and passed him because he was born there. And that was buried 2 years after Jesus was caught up back to heaven. It was Peter and John. I've said this to us several times. Even if you can pay for it, still pray about it. You see a car, you can pay for it, still pray about it. Because there are many cars that are caskets. There are many houses that are graveyards. You don't move into a place because you can afford it. You move to a place because you are directed. In the midst of famine, when there is no rain, there is a brook. No rain, and there was a brook of water. And that brook is by charity. There is a brook. Why? There is scarcity and there is drought. He said there is a brook. Elijah, nobody knows where this brook is, but I will direct you there. It is by charity. What is charity? Charity means separation and isolation. Sir, it's in the place of separation and isolation you see what others can see. There is a brook that is only seen in the days of separation. There is a brook that is only seen and noticed in the days where you separate yourself. In Proverbs 18 verse 1, he said, a man through desire, having separated himself, intermingled with all wisdom. Sir, there are things you find in the place of separation. When you spend time in the woods and you spend time with God, it begins to open your eyes to the brook, charity, the place of supply, the stream of water. There might not be physical, literal rain, but there is a brook, and the provision of that brook is embedded in separation. As you separate yourself in the place of prayer, as you separate yourself from wrong affiliations, as you separate yourself from wrong friends and wrong, acquaintances, God begins to open your eyes. So there are things you will not see. There is a stream waiting, but that stream can only be located in the place of separation. There are things God will show you in the midst of scarcity and lack, but you can only find that when you separate yourself, when you come out from among them and be separate, when you take out time to withdraw yourself back into the secret place. God begins to open your eyes. There is a brook, charity. I know there is famine. I know there is scarcity. I know there is limitation. I know there is hunger. I know there is deprivation. I know nothing is working. But if you can separate yourself, there is a brook called charity that heaven will open your eyes to see that there is abundance in scarcity. There is more than enough in limitation. If you can separate yourself, there is a brook of supply. There's a brook of advancement. There's a brook of increase. As you make up your mind to say, Father, if it's prayer, I will pray. If it's fasting, I will fast. Separation is the currency in the days of scarcity.